What I have today for you is my Cheerson CX-20. Now this is the open source version, but that is irrelevant for this because what I want to test, besides all the other things that I've actually tried on this little quadcopter, is fitting the prop guards. Now I actually received these quite a while ago, but since so many people said, you know, the prop guards are junk, don't fit them, etc., I've never actually bothered fitting them. Well, today while cleaning up my work area, I came across them, and I was just wondering, are they really as bad as everyone says? So here is a test of the prop guards for the Cheerson CX-20, or Quantum Nova as it is also known in other parts of the world. I am going to fit these and I'm going to give you my honest opinion about whether they affect flyability, performance, etc. of our beloved CX-20. Now already the first thing that you'll notice here, my CX-20 has it does some flying, and these 9443 props have taken a bit of a knock and probably need some balancing, etc. But you know, my CX-20 is my experimental quadcopter until I have completed the build on my hexacopter, which you will see later. And for now I am playing around with it, so I've got quite a bit of modifications on it, etc. Now the first thing I want to check is whether these prop guards will actually fit with the 9443 props. Now if you look here, I'm just going to hold it on there. Right, I'm just going to hold it on there, and if you look, you will see it barely clears. There are literally millimeters in which it clears there. But then again, if you look on the inside of the body, your 9443 props barely clear on the inner arm as well. So that clearance is pretty much the same as that clearance. This clearance, I'd say, is actually a little more than that. So I'm going to try it for now with the 9443 props, and bear in mind, I'm trying this so that you don't have to. If anything goes wrong in your mounting of these props, testing these props with the same prop guards, same configuration, that is your problem, not mine. Okay, there's the extra set of screws because these screws actually replace the existing motor mounting screws. They are slightly longer, and obviously you have 4 props. They are absolutely identical and there's nothing which differs between them. So yeah, let's go ahead and get them fitted, and I will do a test flight, and I will give you my honest opinion on whether they really do affect performance as much as some people say, or not. What I have here is just a little bag with 1 or 2 of the spare screws that I have, and what I'm going to do is the screws that I'm going to be removing, the original screws, I don't want to lose, so I'm going to be putting them in there, and I have a tool case into which I will be putting these should I decide to remove these prop guards again. So that being said, let's remove the prop guards, the screws from these motor mounts. Now these screws are actually motor mount screws, and this process really should be incredibly simple. It's something anyone should be able to figure out. There you can see the original screw is actually quite short in comparison to the screws now provided, which are quite a bit longer. I'm a little concerned that they might actually be too long, but we'll check that. I think I'm going to do these one at a time rather than remove all of them in one go. Now, interesting to note as well, there's no Loctite or any kind of glue or anything attached to these screws. So yes, I would suggest you actually check these motor mount screws from time to time to ensure they are not coming loose. Okay, now I'm going to pop them in here before they go missing. Okay. And I'm going to just take 2 screws out of here. There we go. You got 2 screws. Okay, so I took a little break, but I'm back. And let's get this prop guard mounted. Right, so it fits in right there, and yeah, almost clicks in, but it's got a bit of a grab to it. And we'll put in these. Right, the new screws, interestingly, have Phillips heads. So I am going to have to get a Phillips screwdriver. But hold on, before we complete that. Right, before I tighten down those screws, what I want to do is apply thread locker or nut locker or Loctite or whatever the stuff is called in your part of the world. In South Africa, we've got Win's thread locker, which is a nut lock. This is similar to the blue Loctite in that it is removable. Do not use the red Loctite. It is virtually permanent, and you will probably break your screws before that releases. Anyway, this is what I'm going to be using. You need a minuscule amount of this stuff. Let me just get a screwdriver. Right, and I've got a Phillips screwdriver. Let's just remove those screws again. This one's got a very light magnetic tip, not very heavy. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, before I screw these in, is just put a tiny dab. I'm going to show exactly how little you put. You just squeeze this slightly. There. You really don't need more than that. And you can drop that in there. Okay, the other one. There you go. That's all you need. You really do not need a lot of this stuff. It holds onto these screws or nuts or whatever you're going to use it on, especially when you're turning metal into metal, as in this case, and it's just going to hold it there as soon as it dries. It's vibration and shock resistant, and it's really going to hold on to it without you getting back to your quadcopter or it falling from the sky because of motor mounts releasing. Right, now that's the first one attached, and I'm just going to turn it around quickly so you can see exactly how it looks. Okay, that's the first one mounted, and you can see that it actually does pass by millimeters, but enough. Remember, these blades are not super stiff, so they're going to bend up. They might even bend down slightly in some instances, but that is something I'm going to test so that you don't have to. And I will give you, I'm going to take the risk if this crashes my quadcopter, etc. It's a learning experience. As I said, the CX-20 is my experimental fly around quadcopter, and I am in the process of building a hexacopter, which hopefully you'll see the videos of later. So if anything does go wrong with this one, it is not a huge issue. It's not a train smash for me. I'm not going to say the CX-20 is my plaything, but it pretty much almost is. There you can see the space. It is tiny. But anyway, I'm going to show you the whole process, and I'm going to mount the other 4 prop guards as well. Okay, this screw is not correctly molded, and the head doesn't fit onto the screwdriver Phillips head, so that's not going to work. Unfortunately, there were just enough, and that means that I've got to make another plan. And let's see if we can find a spare screw somewhere. As luck would have it, I have an additional set of prop guards. Why did I order 2? Well, I like redundancy. The prop guards I ordered originally because I was still very much nervous with my flying style and my ability, so I ordered 2 sets. Which means I get an extra set of screws. So that one, which is not correct, this one, is not a serious problem, and I can replace it. Obviously, my thinking was that if I'm going to need prop guards, I'm probably going to damage prop guards. And I'd rather have prop guards break than I damage props or the shell. So yeah, that's just my thinking. They are cheap enough anyway. Okay, let's turn that in. Alright, as you can see also here, this is my gimbal mount, but I'm not going to be fitting the gimbal to it. I just want to fly bare without the gimbal. Okay guys, that is it. Let's go see how she flies. Guys, we are out here at the KRF field. That's the Klerksdorp Radio Flyers airstrip near Klerksdorp, and I've got my CX-20 with the prop guards we fitted earlier, and well, we've got a slight bit of a breeze, as you can see from the windsock way over there. It's not too bad, but we do have little gusts every now and again. Weather report says our gusts are coming from that side, and they will be at around 25 kilometers per hour. Okay, now I am set up here for a 2-minute flight,
That's just basically to test the prop guards. And yeah, let's arm the CX-20. Hold on, there we go, it's armed, and I'm going to start my timer and let's try her out. Okay, she's fighting the headwind a little bit. Okay. Right. I can't really say at this stage. The wind does seem to affect us slightly more, but she's not that bad. There's some funnels. In for a landing. That's 2 minutes. And there you go. Okay, overall impression. Okay, I've disarmed the motors. Stop the timer. Overall impression is, yes, she's a little more sensitive to wind, but otherwise I do not find that the CX-20 is actually in any way sluggish. Maybe a little more demure, I would say. Maybe a little more sensitive to wind, but I would think actually for photography purposes, especially if you're flying in wind, the prop guards actually seem to give me a little bit of more of a stability. I don't know. I'll have to do some more flying to actually determine whether the prop guards negatively or positively affect. As you saw, I did some nice back and forth. I did a couple of funnels, and that is actually with a bit of wind. The wind is now actually shifted. It's now crossed over, so the wind pulls back and forth like this. So you saw the quadcopter move back and forth a little bit, but at this stage it is difficult for me to say whether the prop guards are all bad. But anyway, let's do 1 or 2 more flights and see how those go. I'm out here for another test flight of the CX-20 head cam fitted, and I'm going to be flying a 5-minute flight. There you go. Just to test the prop guards again. We've still got a bit of a gust coming every now and again. It's not bad, but let's see how it affects the flight with the prop guards. And yeah, the whole idea is to test the prop guards on the CX-20 and see whether they really adversely affect the performance. Okay, I've already started the timer. I'm arming the CX-20. It's armed, it's ready, and here we go. left, right. Let's do a position hold. Okay. It currently is, hold on, let me just move it over slightly. There we go. Okay, that's the CX-20 in position hold with prop guards fitted. And as you can see, we do have a bit of a wind coming from that side, and it's actually not bad. Okay, taking out of very strong wind coming across now. There you go. Right, I can honestly say, let's just stop this timer at 9 seconds. That is a full 5-minute flight, and as you saw, flying with the prop guards, guys, I can truly say that the prop guards to me do not adversely affect the performance. I'm actually quite impressed. Here and there it actually seems to stabilize the quad to some extent, and less prone to the vortex ring states, even with some gusts coming across. And however, I must state that I have no camera connected, I have no gimbal connected. I use one of those cheap gimbals, if you look at one of my previous videos, and that does add quite a bit of weight. I believe that gimbal alone is about 180 grams, and that may actually affect this. Now the CX-20 I have found the more weight you add onto it, even slight weights like that gimbal, it doesn't like it. I would not add anything more than 150 grams additional weight onto the CX-20. So if you're going to look at a gimbal, I would say look at one of those plastic gimbals, or a gimbal which is incredibly light, because the type of gimbal that I have on this one, it's too heavy. You can't do the type of flying that I have just done. So there you go. In my opinion, the prop guards are not that bad. So there you go. You have seen it for yourself. That is the CX-20 with prop guards and 9443 props. Cheers.